What's up? My name's River Dodd, and this is the Call Me Daddy cooking show, and today we're making pancakes and bacon. Because why? Because I woke up craving some. So first, what we're gonna do is get our ingredients, and that starts with 2 cups of flour. So it's really important while separating your ingredients is to have a dry group and, sorry, I'm just getting it, a wet group. We're gonna pour instead. And why we do this is because if you don't separate them when it's time to mix, it becomes really difficult. And I'm hungry, so we don't have the time for that. Our next ingredient is gonna be 1/4 cup of sugar, just the usual. You don't wanna put too much sugar because then it'll just become a sweet mix or a sweet mess. And like, I know some people have a sweet tooth, but I don't. Our next ingredient is gonna be 4 teaspoons of baking powder. You gotta be really specific with baking powder because in the terms of baking, this is when we get our like actual scientific side in. And if you put too much baking powder, in the best possible way, your pancake will explode. It'll just become an absolute mess and you won't enjoy it. And then this is our 4th teaspoon. After that, we have a half teaspoon of salt. And I know it's probably questionable, why are we putting salt if this is supposed to be sweet? Yes, we all know that salt is not sweet whatsoever, but what salt is actually great at doing is absorbing the water in dishes and ingredients and just really bringing out that flavor. If you ever have a dish that almost seems like it's lacking, just add a little bit more salt. And that looks like that's it for the rest of our dry ingredients. So now we're gonna do our wet ingredients. And we need 1 3/4 cups of milk. Just gonna pour that out right there. And what I really love about this is the fact that you can do it, gotta be careful, is that you can do this so quick. And a lot of the ingredients are just staples you have in the kitchen. Got that? Sorry. It's anxious pouring liquids. I get anxious easily. After our milk, we're gonna do 1/4 cup of butter. I pre-melted mine because called playing the game, but just take some butter, pre-melt it. I'm just gonna pour it in. A 4th cup of butter a 4th cup of butter is usually just half of the stick. On a lot of the butter, they have the measurements, so it's super easy to follow. And after that, then we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You gotta be careful with vanilla because as yummy as vanilla is, my favorite ice cream flavor, my favorite flavor in anything, it's really powerful. And so you have to make sure that you know exactly how much you're putting in because if you put in too much, it'll just become overpowering and you'll ruin your dish. And then what do you do if you're hungry and you ruin your dish? Me, I'd be super mad. After our vanilla, now we're gonna crack an egg. This is the scary part for me because I have always had trouble with cracking eggs, but let's hope that it's the first try. I'm gonna crack my egg. Oh my God. Let's go. We got it first try. I'm gonna put my egg right there and that's all the ingredients. I am gonna wash my hands because they're covered in ingredients. But after that, and then this is what aprons are for, we're gonna whisk. So I'm gonna mix all my dry ingredients together. We're gonna have to mix it 3 times just to get it all together, but once for the dry ingredients, and then we're gonna mix up our wet ingredients. And these you wanna take a little bit more time with just because you put the egg in it. And if you don't mix in the yolk thoroughly through, it's gonna come out really weird, really clumpy. You kinda have to get a little aggressive with it just because that yolk is sometimes stubborn. But this looks pretty well mixed to me. So now we're gonna add it to our dry ingredients. Kind of slow, I'm gonna kind of mix it in as I pour. And once everything is in, I'm gonna go to town. I've been thinking all day about these pancakes. Breakfast for dinner has always been a favorite of mine. My mom she was never really a good cook. I love my mom, don't get me wrong. I love my mom. But she was just never a really good cook. But one thing she did know how to cook is breakfast for dinner. And as I'm cooking this now, I'm just thinking of the work that she had to do. But I hope you guys are cooking this as I'm cooking this. Makes it kind of a bonding experience. And this looks pretty good to me. And now we have our pancake batter. Time for the bacon. Now, to start the bacon, the first thing you're going to want to do is get a baking pan, and then the next thing you're going to want to do is spray some oil on it. I use olive oil spray. It's low calorie, it's super good for you, and it coats it really evenly so that your bacon doesn't end up cooking weirdly. Then you're going to lay down your strips of bacon. Today we're doing 6. It's a little tight, but country girls make do. Once you get them all lined up, you're just going to do another coat of oil. This time we're just pouring some olive oil so that bacon really gets crunchy and crispy and just fluffs up. Now, once that gets all set up, I hope you've been preheating your oven to either 350 or 375, depending on your preference, and you're going to put that bacon right into the oven. Once the bacon is in there, wait maybe 15 to 20 minutes. That's normally how I wait. Now that we're cooking the pancakes, once we've heated a skillet up to medium. So before we put it on, I'm just going to want to spray on some oil just so that when the batter gets on there, it can be pretty even. You can never have too much oil. It makes cooking way easier. So now with the oil on, just going to pour a little bit on there. It'll spread out. And you hear that sizzle? I'll lean in a little closer so you can hear it. You hear that sizzle? Yeah, that's how you know you got a good pancake. While we wait to cook, what you want to look for is the bubbling. Bubbling comes through means the bottom half is often heated. You got to be a little careful with lifting off the edges just because you can really mess it up. But since we're doing smaller pancakes, it might be a little easier. Seems like I still got to let it cook a little. So now we're going to try and flip it. I have a really good feeling about this. And then, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We're just gonna wait for it to heat up a little more, and that's about it. Pancakes are pretty easy. With the pancake looking pretty brown, it's ready to be plated. And we can start making more. And now let's plate the bacon. What a journey it has been to get here. Excuse me shaking off the oil, but this looks incredible. The pancakes look delicious. The bacon looks delicious. And with our final piece of bacon, we have a delicious plate of pancakes and bacon. And now that we've made it, it's time to get an honest review. And I'm River, and you can call me Daddy.
Mm-mm-mm. 5 out of 5 cooking daddies. Oh my gosh. What is this made with?
Cooking Daddy never reveals his secrets.